Alright guys, welcome to episode 9 or 10 I believe. This is going to be a very good episode. It's an extremely important episode as well, so make sure you listen up. So basically it's going to be about risk management. So risk management is where it all relies essentially. So first of all, why do we talk in percentages? So instead of saying, I know in my videos I say, I made 500 whatever like that, that's just for the clickbait, right? But what you want to actually say is percentage, so how much you gained in percentage. So you don't want to be saying 500, you want to say 1%, for example. You want to say 2% gain, for example. Why do we do that? It's because people have different capital amounts. Let's say you're trading with $10,000, 1% is only what, 100 pounds, right? So, and if you're on 50k account, if you're on a $50,000 account, then 1% is 500. So it really just it varies. So instead of saying the actual dollar amount, you just say the percentages. Yeah, this also affects psychology if you're mentioning the numbers, because remember, numbers is money, and money influences the mind, because you're going to be chasing more money. So that's why you just want to call it percentages. So yeah. The next one is only risk 1%. So when you place a trade, when you enter a trade, and you want to put risk on the table to then make more money, the only risk that you're going to put into the account should be 1%. Why 1%? Because let's say you go on a losing streak and you take 10 losses in a row, you're only going to be 10% down. You can easily come back out of from that. Also, you need 100 losses in a row to blow your account. So it just makes the probability really low that you're going to blow your account. So make sure you're only risking 1% and you don't risk any higher, not 2%, not 10%, none of that. And yeah, I just wanted to say also the power of risk to reward. Now, if you don't remember what that is, it's basically, remember when we want to enter a position, right? Let's just say we entered here, our stop loss goes here, and then we target a 1 to 2. Yeah, this is not an actual setup. I'm just doing it for the sake of the video, right? So let's just say that. Remember, this is the risk to reward ratio. The risk to reward. It's let's just put it to 1 to 3. So look, this is 3 risk to reward. So we say 1 to 3, because look, one section, so from here to here, this stop loss is tripled. The TP is tripled. So for example, every time you win, it's going to be 3 times as if you would have lost. So let's just say 1 TP, let me just draw it out here. So 1 TP, 1 win basically, is equal to 3%. Okay, 1 SL or 1 L is equal to minus 1%. So can you see what happened there? So let's just say I trade on Monday, I take an L. Tuesday, I take another L. Wednesday, I take a win. Okay. Oh my god. And then Thursday, I take another L. And then Friday, another win. Okay. Can you see? I've literally lost more times than I have won. I've lost 3 times and I've only won twice. But I'm going to tell you why we're still profitable. So as you can see here, this L was only minus 1%. This L is what? Minus 1%. Why? Because remember, the max we risk is 1%. So if we lose 1%. That's it. And remember, when we win, because our risk to reward, I don't know how to say the word. Our risk to reward is 3, always 3. That means that we win 3% always. So plus 3%. Okay. An L here, minus 1%, and then another win, plus 3%. So as you can see here, we've gained 6% in total, but minus the losses, that's minus 3, so we're up 3% for the week. Can you see that? So we've lost more than we've won, but because of our risk to reward, we're still profitable. We're still up 3%. We're still up 3%. But I also wanted to say that pair this with win rate. Okay, so imagine you have a win rate. Your strategy's win rate is quite high. Let's just say, for example, my one, it's 60 to 70% win rate. It depends from month to month. That's why it varies. So this month it's actually 70%. We'll just take 70% win rate. and my RR is average of 2. Alright, just putting the heating back on. So my RR is 2 RR, not 3 RR, and it's a 70% win rate. So that means 7 trades out of 10, for example, I would win, and each of my wins cover 2 of my losses, if that makes sense. So for example, let's just say I win here, and then I lose here, and I lose here. That's just for example. That's probably not my case because I usually win a lot more, but I'm just saying for example. So look, a plus 2%, okay, and then over here plus 2%, and then an L here minus 1%, and then another L, another L, okay. So look, we're up 2%, we're up 4% on this Tuesday. Now minus, we're still up 1% for the week. Now 1%, you might think it's not a lot. Trust me, that's a lot, because you have to let the capital do the heavy lifting. What I mean by that is, how do I really show this? So let's just say you're on a 5k account. 1% is what? It's £50. Okay. Let's say you're on a 10k account. 1% is £100. Let's say you're on a 50k account. 1% is £500. Let's say you're on a 100k account. 1% is £1,000. So do you see what I mean? Let the capital do the heavy lifting. You don't need to worry about if you're making a low percentage each week. Just make sure that you are returning some sort of percentage each week. But yeah, I hope you guys can see the power of risk reward. Like, it's quite crazy. You can literally just lose 3 times in a row, and one win would bring you back out. It would bring you to break even, and then another one would put you up 3%. So win rate and high RR is very good. But yeah, the next thing about the risk management plan is the maximum loss limit. So with this strategy, right, you need to only take 1 trade per day. You can't take 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. Just 1 trade per day. Now you don't even need to trade every day. I'm just saying that's the max. The max is 1 trade per day. Why? Because this basically levels out your probability distribution, if you know what I mean. Like, if you're taking more trades per day, and if you're basically over trading, then you're more likely to lose. Do you get me? Some other procedures. Per week, your maximum loss limit per week is minus 3%. So let's say you take 3 trades, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're all losses. Yeah, so that means that you're down 3% on the week. That's when you stop. You don't trade Thursday and Friday. Okay, that's just rules that keep you profitable, keep you in this game for the long run. Per month is minus 6%. Let's say you take a losing streak, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on the first week, you lost all, so you stop trading for the week. The next week you come back, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you lost all. That's another minus 3%. That's when you stop trading for the month. So for the next 2 weeks, you don't trade. You come back the next month, because that month, if you're losing, if you lost all the trades, it's probably a low probability month. It's probably something like December. So yeah, make sure you guys actually implement this, and you write it in your trading plan. I want you guys to be taking notes of it. Okay. And yeah, that pretty much covers the video. But the main thing that I also wanted to say is, you guys need to understand that this risk management is what's going to keep you profitable, what's going to maintain your profitability. Okay, so it's all good trading and all that, it's all good doing all that, but without this, you're going to fail. Like, you could even have a 99% win rate, yeah, which is very unrealistic, by the way, but the one day where you lose, the one day where you crash out, that's just going to spoil everything. So these rules, these procedures, these are going to save you in the long run. So make sure you implement them and take notes. But I hope you guys can also see the power of the risk to reward. Like, just imagine if you had a 1 to 3 RR strategy, you can literally lose 3 times in a row. One win brings you back, another win, and you're up. The last thing I wanted to show you guys was how to actually calculate your risk. So you guys should now have paper trading enabled right here. If you don't know how to do it, then check my first video. I'm not going to explain it again. But let's just pretend that we're entering a trade right now. Let's just try find a setup. So we're going to go to the daily. We're going to see our daily bias. Let's just say it's bullish, because the last 3 candles are kind of bullish. That's a wiki. And then we find our Oh, okay. Let's just say we're bearish actually, just to show you how to calculate risk. So there's a bearish trade here on the 5 minute, and let's just say you want to enter around here. Okay, so you place your position. Yeah, you place your position over here, for example. You put your stop loss where you want it to be. You don't really need to touch the TP, but you can. All you do now, once you placed your position, you just press on it, and then you come up here, some bar will appear, and you press this button right here. It says create limit order. Over here you can see what it says, and now margin USD. Over here in this section where it says margin USD, you just put in how much you want to risk. Now it depends on what your account size is. So to check your account size, you come here, you press paper trading, and then as you can see, it's $100,000 account. This is obviously fake. It's $100,000 account. So what is 1% of $100,000? It's 1,000 USD. So after I have that, you can see it automatically calculates my lot size, my units for the trade. So when price comes here, I can press sell. I'll do it for boom, and then that's it. That's me in the trade, me risking 1%. Okay. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So make sure you guys mess around with this and you guys learn how it works. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Just know that risk management is the most important thing. For over the next few videos, I'm going to teach you about backtesting. I'm going to teach you about how to make your own trading plan. And yeah, it should be good from there. And then after that, it's literally just psychology. And from there, it's just time until you start making money. And yeah, with that being said, I'll leave you guys to it.